Hey guys, welcome back to Standard of the World. So, I know I told you in my last video you probably wouldn't see another Standard of the World video until like the fall because I was looking for some pieces. I did go to the York meet in April, didn't find the buildings I was looking for, so I'm still on the hunt for those, but I did get a lot of people stopping me asking about this layout. I actually got more questions about the standard gauge layout than I did my O gauge layout, which was kind of funny. So I had a lot of people asking me if I would just review the stuff that I got so far, because I haven't really shown anything. I've just been showing sort of the track and the layout build, but not any of the sets I bought or anything like that. So since today is sort of a little bit of a rainy day, I figured why not? We'll go through all the pieces that I've acquired so far as engines and cars. And then, then you'll kind of know where I'm at. And again, if anybody finds those big tinplate buildings, they're the larger size that MTH made during the Lionel Corp tinplate years. They start with a number 11 in the product, and they're in those orange and cream boxes. If you find one of those big tinplate buildings, the bungalows or the houses, and you know somebody that wants to sell one, just contact me, because that's the piece I'm looking for. That's kind of holding me up. But anyway, so yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So let's just jump into it and start looking at trains. All right, so for our first train, I got to take one of the most beautiful ones that I have. This is a Lionel Hiawatha set, Milwaukee Road Hiawatha set. The only one made in standard gauge, and it was the TMCC version. So there were only two TMCC sets that Lionel actually produced themselves. It wasn't made under the agreement with MTH, and this was one of them. And it was a Hiawatha set. This set is gigantic, and we're going to look at all the details of it, but it's one of the most beautiful sets. And like I said, it is TMCC, so I have a cab one remote to use with it. It has smoke, has sounds, and lighting, and it's just a fantastic set. If I was going to keep a couple of the engines, like this would probably be one of my top two besides the Blue Comet, I think. So this is just a fantastic set. So let's take a look at it. All right, so this, this engine weighs a ton. I don't even know, it's gotta be 20 some pounds at least, but you can see all the cool detail of it. It's got this nice flat gray on the boiler sides, which is really nice. It has sort of blackened rims, and then you've got the red stripe going down the main driver on it. Of course, it has the famous Hiawatha decals on the front. It does have a working headlight on the front of it, and it also has working marker lights and number boards right here. So these all light up when it's running. Of course, you got the rails down here, which is the antenna for the TMCC. It's got a smoke unit on it. It's got a little brass cup there where that loads into it. And the front actually comes off here on the Hiawatha. This is just magnetic, so that you can change the light. This little screw comes out and stuff like that. So, but this is all heavy die cast, all magnetic. And they have a little bit of a detail in the cab here. So there is some cab detail in the back there. And then the tender. It's got great paint on it. All matching trucks here. Same color. Even has the sort of the screw for feeding the coal down there. So kind of cool. So standard Lionel couplers. These things are crazy. I don't know what they were thinking when they made these things, but... Alright, and then this is a 4-car set. So these cars are just huge. You gotta back up so you can see the length of them, but they're gigantic. And they will run on 042 curves, so just FYI. But this is obviously the baggage here. The doors do slide open. They have spring-loaded doors here, all tinplate. Now there are two little things you push in right here, and then you can open up the roofs, and you can see inside of it. Okay. And this is so funny. I don't know what is with tinplate, right? But they have bathrooms in here. For some reason, I don't know when tinplate first came about. For some reason, they thought it was important to show you a commode and a sink, right? Even the little toilet seat goes up and down in these. It's got working doors on the bathrooms there. Then you got some seating and tables here. And of course, back here, we've got the there's a little counter right here. Some baggage up here. So, but yeah, this set is kind of cool. It's got this kind of mechanism where you can open and close the tops of the cars, changing the bulbs and stuff like that. I guess if you wanted to put passengers in, you could. And then this is the next car. This is one of the coach cars here. Again, working doors on all these. They're all spring-loaded. It's got some nice roof venting details and stuff, chimneys and everything. I think this one is probably the same. It's hard to do this without having two hands. There we go. It's kind of like the same thing. We've got some seating in here. This looks like a sort of a diner area. But obviously these are older, so they all incandescent lighting on the inside. Okay, then we got another car here. This one has portholes on it. You can see this one didn't, so it's a little bit different. But the paint job on these things is fantastic. I love the flat gray roofs though, even though you have the glossy paint going down the side. And then, of course, they have the doors here on the ends here. Now these don't open; they're just solid. But and then you have the observation car on the end here, and of course, this is the famous beaver tail. And it technically has a coupler back here, so you could pull something else if you wanted to, but. And this one, see if I can do this here. Put the camera down for a second, see I get this one open. This one's a little bit different on the inside. So here's the observation lounge in the back here. You can see it goes for the windows in the back. And then you have the regular seating, passenger seating here. And of course, every car has to have 2 bathrooms. Not sure what the history of that is. That'd be interesting to find out why they thought they had to put bathrooms in every model train car, but anyway. And that's kind of it. Really long train. Really impressive looking though, and beautiful. So we can fire up, just take a look at our sounds, give it a quick run around. I did this on another video, so you've kind of already seen this if you watched my other videos, but just because we're doing each one, we'll just give it a run around and move on to our next train. next set on the block here is the Ives Circus Train set. So I wasn't planning on getting any Ives stuff, only because every time you switch between manufacturers and standard gauge, it's a different coupler system, so you got to get cars and everything to go with it. But I was in Nicholas Smith, and they had a Circus Train set that somebody had ordered long time ago, never picked it up, and it's been sitting there for forever, and they gave it to me for like half price, which I couldn't pass up. So it was a incredible Ives Circus Train set, which I'll show you in a second, but I needed an engine to go with it, which of course is the Ives 1134 Steamer, which you're seeing right here. The thing about the Steamer is they made it in two colors. They made it in black, the normal black color, which is pretty easy to find. It's not too hard. And then they made it in this red, which I thought would be a better color to go with the Circus Train. I just thought it'd be cooler. Just seems to fit better. It's a circus. So I was on the hunt for one of these, and it was pretty hard to find. It was not easy to find the red version of this, but I did manage to eventually track one down, and here it is. So like I said, it's in this sort of dark red color, and then they have sort of gold as the contrasting color on here. So you can see it has a gold front on it. You got the bell there, you got two little flags. Does have some brass stanchions right there. The wheels then have gold in the center of them for the pilot. The spokes are gold, and the drivers are all gold. And then the rear trailing wheel spokes are also gold. And of course you get the Ives railway lines. And then of course you have all the brass and gold trim. So this is gold here. These little ones right here are brass, so they change colors. And so, yeah, this is a nice size steamer, mid-size. They've got the gold firebox door back here. And then you have the tender. So again, everything is in red and gold. You have the gold bearing caps here. Gold ladder on the back, gold hatch. Of course, coal load right here. So, really nice. This is a PS2 engine, MTH made. It's one of the very early PS2s, so it has the 9-volt battery, or 8.4 volt, whatever you want to call it. But that's the engine. So let's take a look at the cars that basically prompted me to get this engine, because I originally wasn't going to get this one, but actually it turned out really nice. It's nicer than I thought it was when I saw it in person. Alright, so MTH made an Ives Circus Train set, which consists of 6 cars, and then they gave you a circus diorama. So I don't have any place for that on my layout, so that's still sealed in the original box that came with the set. But these are the cars. So you can see right here we have a flat car here. Okay, and these are, they have these ticket booth trailers on them, so kind of cool. So those are supposed to be basically the ticket booths that they would be hauling around. And the little, they do slide up here, little doors slide up and stuff like that. And then right behind it, they have the circus equipment car. So this is where the equipment would be housed. It has a sliding door on it. Brake wheel on that side. Ladder on this side. Okay. And then we start with the animal cars. So this first set, again, is another flat car with cages in this case. And in this case, we have lions inside on these. Alright, and then we have a sort of a stock car here. Again, the doors do open and close on them, but everything's marked with Ives Railway Circus. And we got 2 horses inside here. I don't know if they really go in there. They gave you a whole bunch of animals, so I just put them all inside the cars. But they would obviously be part of the diorama too, right? But I got them to fit in there, so I figured I'll just put them in there. And then we got another flat car with cages, only this time we have tigers in this one. We got 2 tigers, and in this one we have elephants. But the same kind of cage cars. And then finally the last car in the set is the Circus Performer Car. So this is where all the performers would have been. So it's kind of a combo car with, you got Coach, and it is the only car in the set that's lighted. No doors, it's kind of funny, but just the way they made it. So yeah, really cool Circus Train set, pulled by the 1134 steamer. So let's take it around the track, see what it sounds and looks like. Alright guys, our next engine is a Lionel 390E. So the 390 is a little bit smaller than the like 400s, like would be the Blue Comet and things like that. And these engines are really meant size-wise to pull the 500 series cars. So the 200 series rolling stock is the bigger stuff, the giant rolling stock. It sits higher, so the coupler's higher. This engine is sort of at the level where the 500 series couplers are even, you know, if we put a 500 behind it. So different engines require different types of rolling stock, and so this one is a great one for all my 500 series rolling stock. Now I only have a couple pieces of 500, but this is a great engine to pull, like all kinds of other ones that I might find along the way. So, but anyway, here it is. So this one happens to be a black brass 390E. You can see on the front the detail here. You got the red cow catcher. Great brass details. Got a headlight. There's a bell. Actually, there's two little spots right here. There's two little flags that come out at an angle right there in that little hole right there. I forgot to get them out of the box. This one has red spokes on it. And then you've got brass and details. Brass and copper details. These were all made during the Lionel Corp tinplate years by MTH, so they are they have all the original Lionel nameplates and everything on them. sort of a short tender on it. And again, just brass details on this particular one. So yeah, that's a 390E. All right, so first we have a hopper car with a coal load. This is number 516. And like I said, the 500 series are a little bit smaller. If you think about it, the 200 series would be like, if I was comparing it to O scale, would be like full O scale. And then the 500 series would be like traditional size, a little shrunken down, right? And so you can see the couplers are even here, right, horizontally between the 390 and the 500 series cars. If I put a 200 series car, these would be much higher, so I'd have to bend and do all kinds of weird things to get them to couple behind the engine. So, plus the height of the cars wouldn't look right either because it'd actually be a little bit higher. So yeah, so this one's great for a 500 series. Then I have a 514 refrigerated car right here. So it's got the, I don't know if you can see it there in the plating, but it says Lionel Ventilated Refrigerator. Again, brass details on this one. And then we have a Boxcar, 514 again. It's almost like a stock car, right? It has the sort of the embedded, embossed wood slats on it. Just like an orange and cream one. And then the last one here is we have another 514 Boxcar here. This one I really like. This is a Pennsylvania one. The colors on it is great. It's like a deep maroon with all these brass details on it. I forget where I got this one, but when I saw it, I'm like, yes, that's a really nice one. Pennsylvania Railroad logos and everything. And that's all I have in 500 series rolling stock. I was actually collecting more of the 200 series, and then I realized after I got the 390 that that rolling stock was actually a little bit too big for it. So I still need like a 500 series caboose for this. A couple more pieces of 500 series rolling stock would go with this and make a nice little freight set. But that's what I have so far. Alright, next up we got a two-tone green 9E electric. So you gotta have an electric if you have a standard gauge collection. Love the two-tone green too instead of just the one single color, so that was kind of nice. This one is brass details on it. And of course they've got two lights and just little sort of like pantographs, not really scale, but and that's it. Now the height of this one would be probably about the same pulling a 500 series freight stuff. So this is also good for pulling 500 series stuff, and it's a kind of low. Alright, so here's our next train. If you watched my York video, you saw this train. This is, I just acquired this at York. It is a 392E. This is a Lehigh Valley. And it's really beautiful paint work on this particular one with the red. It's like a dark red on it. But you can see it's got the Lehigh Lines logo right there. It's got gray, red, and white color scheme here. Black spokes on this one. It's kind of almost like a 400E, only it's shrunken down a little bit. It's a little bit smaller. Got lighted markers and number boards and headlight on the front here. Flags, of course. Most of them all have flags. This is smoke. It's I think this one is PS3. So full DCS control. This one has nickel trim, unlike the other ones, which are brass. Nickel firebox door. And then you got this great striped tender here with Lehigh Valley on it. It's even got some great hatch detail on the top here. And it's got a Lionel logo on the back. So really beautiful engine. Now the 392s are really sort of at the height of 500 series rolling stock. So my 200 series rolling stock actually does not mate up with this very well. Like I tried to put it next to each other, and I would have thought that this big engine, this bigger one, would have done that, but it's really the 400 and above that goes with the 200 series rolling stock. So this is actually, you can see even right here, but it was way above here when I tried to roll a piece of 200 rolling stock next to it. So I do have this nice set of passenger cars here. These are Pennsylvania passenger cars. They're a darker red, so they don't match exactly. It's not like the set that goes with this, but it's pretty close. And these are great. Look at those great clear story details on there. It does have sort of seated interiors. There's sort of benches inside. Opening doors. This one happens to have brass details on it. So there's a parlor car right there. There's a combine car right here. And then there's an observation in the back here. We'll see it as it comes around. But it's a 3-car passenger set, Pennsylvania, that I picked up. And so right now, that's when I can pull behind this Lehigh Valley. Or I can pull any of the 500 series rolling stock. That'll work too. So let's fire up. Alright, our next train that we're going to look at is another Lionel TMCC train. It's actually the sort of the brother to the Hiawatha, because there were only 2 ever made in TMCC by Lionel, and this is the other one. It's the Commodore Vanderbilt, and this is a little bit of a departure from most standard gauge trains, where the finish on this is actually sort of a matte finish, where almost every single standard gauge piece is always a glossy enameled finish, right? So this is a little bit different, but super cool train nonetheless, right, of the Commodore Vanderbilt. Thing weighs an absolute ton. Everything is solid die cast shell. I'm gonna just cut in some footage of this that I've already shot on another video, so I won't take it off the shelf here, but just a great set. And of course it has the passenger cars that go with it, and these are really nice. They have really detailed seats inside these. Great riveting detail on the sides. These are really fantastic cars. You get a coach car, combine, observation. So really nice set. So let's check that out. Alright guys, our next set is a Lionel 408E. This is a dual motor 408 electric. This thing is an absolute beast. It is so heavy. It's actually so heavy that it came bolted into a steel frame that was inside the packaging because they didn't want it to move around because it was so heavy. And it's just a gigantic engine. Of course, it's not the biggest standard gauge. The Super 381, I think, is the biggest, and the Big Brute's the next, and then getting down to like the 408s and things like that. But anyway, it's a big engine, and this is the pink engine. So this actually was a real pre-war that Lionel actually made, and so when they reproduced it, this is the same set, and so it's the pink set, and really cool colors. It has sort of a light pink main body, and then a very dark, like crimson frame on the base and the roof, and it's highlighted by all these brass details on it. So super cool. On the front here, it's got obviously a headlight. It's got red and green marker lights. Okay, like I said, all brass details. It does have pantographs. These actually operate, so you can actually unclip them, and they go up. And then if you can clip them down. So like I said, this is a dual motor. Lots of pulling power on these. Just fantastic. Brute of an engine, but in all pink. And then there is a 4-car passenger set. There's a 3-car set and a diner add-on. So first car in the set here is the baggage car. This is a cool baggage car. They've got the door on the end here. These are all open and closed. You got 2 windows, and you got this baggage door here. And then you got some seating inside there. Great clear stories. It's got the curtains in it. And then the next is the parlor, or the coach car. So they're all labeled. That's 418 on this one. The baggage was 419. So they're all sort of individually numbered. This is 431. This is the dining car. This is they've got actually tables inside there. So they do have detail in here, although these roofs do not just flip open. I think the Hiawatha and the Commodore Vanderbilt were the only two where they actually just flipped open. Otherwise, they've got screws that hold them on. And then finally, we have the 490, which is the observation car. All right, so let's start her up. Alright, so let's look over the 200 series freight that I have. I don't have another 400E besides the last engine I'm going to show you, so we're just going to use the 408 right here, and that makes the couplers line up perfectly. But this is all the 200 series, which are the bigger freight cars, and yeah, we'll go over all these. So first one here, I got a triple dome tanker here. This is Mazda lamps, Mazda GE lamps, General Electric. It's a 215-3. So 215 is the series, and then 3 just means 3 dome. So this one happens to be black and silver. It's got nickel trim on it. Okay, next one I have right here is a ventilated refrigerator. So this is exactly the same one I had in the 500 series, except you can see how much bigger it is. But same refrigerator car. And then the next one is actually a 2-dome tank car, and this is Philadelphia quartz. So this is all black and yellow, kind of like a bumblebee paint scheme on that one. Alright, next we have a 218 Mojave paint scheme dump car. So, of course, we're in pre-war, there's nothing automatic, right? So everything was manual back then, but this actually is a functioning dump car. So all you do is you turn this little wheel, and as you turn it, it dumps. And if you look, the little door opens on this side and dumps out your coal. So really cool. So even though they didn't have automatic dump cars, they still had dump cars. And it actually goes both directions. You can go either direction. So really neat. And again, this one is in Mojave green here. And then we've got a container car here. So these are gondola with containers. This one I was really happy to find because of the color combination. They do make this car not too hard to find, but it's usually just black and like black safes and stuff like that, black containers. This is a bright orange with these really nice navy blue containers, so really nice. And then we have another refrigerator car right here. This happens to be a Coors. So white and sort of a brownish paint scheme on this one, nickel trim. All right, next we got a Shell Company 3-dome tank car. It's a black base, nickel trim, classic Shell. And then we have a Redding covered hopper. This is a really neat one. It's all black, Redding. Has the Redding sign on the top here, Redding Railway System, Redding Line. So this one has brass trim on it. Then we have a, actually this is a TCA National Convention car, 33rd. I'm not sure what year that was, but looks like, I don't see the year on the stamping there, but whatever the 33rd TCA National Convention was, that's the year of this particular car. And then we have a 2-dome Cook's Paint tank car. Nice red and blue with black. And then finally we have a 217 Lionel Caboose. So this is a really nice color scheme too. So it's green body, red roof, and orange ends with a black frame. It's kind of like it's sort of a brass nameplate, but you know, there's no brass or nickel trim on this one. It's all painted. Yeah, I can't remember if this one's lighted or not, but that's it. Alright guys, here it is, last train in my collection. Of course, no collection's complete without the Blue Comet. So, famous Lionel Blue Comet. This is a 400E engine. These are, this particular one is the later of the two versions. So, in the pre-war era, when the Blue Comet came out, it first came out with red wheels and it had brass trim. And then later on, I forget what year it was, I think it was the late 30s, early, yeah, 37, somewhere around there, I think it was. They came out with this another version of it, which was this one that you're seeing here, which is the black wheels with the nickel trim on it. So, has lighted markers on the front, it's got a headlight, you got a little swinging bell on the front here, it's got the standard flags on pretty much every standard gauge engine here. Lionel 400E lighted number boards. And like I said on this one, it's all nickel trim. This is PS3 smoke sounds. Original Lionel logos. The Blue Comet always had the coolest tender too. Okay, and then we have the 4-car passenger set to go with it. So the passenger cars are pretty much all the same. They're just labeled with different names. This case has to be Westfall here. And they do have lighted interiors. Two-tone, so you've got the dark blue and sort of the aqua teal color. So there's 3 of those cars, and then in the back here we'll see it when it comes around as an observation car. So let's give it a run. The observation car here. guys, well that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video of running some tinplate trains here, and just a preview of my standard gauge collection that I've acquired so far. It's been a lot of fun. Like I said, I just did this because a lot of people were stopping me at York and asking about the standard gauge trains. I was surprised how many people were interested in them, but I will say that once you start down the standard gauge road, it's very addicting, and these are just absolutely stunningly beautiful trains. Obviously this is where it all started when Lionel was first starting out making trains. So it's kind of neat to have the old gauge stuff downstairs, but also this sort of piece of history up here with all these beautiful enameled tinplate trains. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell for the notifications, and I will see you guys next time. Peace, guys.